Hello and welcome to Only Frames, everybody's favourite below average 8-ball pool content provider, bringing you highlights of today's game from the Ramsgate Rail Pool League Invitational. It's Lee versus Chris, and this is to decide who will win Group C. Both these men have played free and won free, 100% records, but one of them must go, if not both of them, because a draw is on offer as well. It's best of 8, it's 8-ball rules, and Chris is about to appear at the table for the first time today. Chris is the defending champion on Only Frames. Last season, he went undefeated and won the title for the Ramsgate Rail Pool League Invitational in our inaugural season. Can he defend that title this year? I'm not sure he can, but Chris currently has more pressing matters on mind. He needs to win this game to win the group and to qualify in the top division. Both of these guys are already guaranteed that spot, but this is for bragging rights and the Spondulics. There's money on the line. Who will hold their nerve when it comes down to the pressure moments? Chris has shown over the years that he is capable of doing so, but can Lee cause an upset? Will Lee be the first man to get that 100% record off Chris, or are we going to have to wait till Chris finds himself in Division 1 and gets hammered by the likes of Joe and Tom, who are both great players and expected to do big things this season? Chris is looking now to get an early frame on the board. That's a red to the middle, but he has slightly overrun that cue ball. This has left his final red trickier than it needed to be. Is he going to cut it back? Is he going to double it? He's gone for the cut back. He's made it, but where's the cue ball? You lucky little rascal. He could have ended up behind that yellow, but he hasn't. 8-ball to the middle. It's 1-0 to Chris. It's first to 4. It's actually first to 5, but it's 4 to guarantee the point that he needs to be crowned king of Group C. He's fouled on the break. Lee's at the table, and he's rolling that red towards the top right-hand pocket. Lee continues at the table. We're in the second frame. Although Lee potted that red to the top right-hand pocket due to having ball in hand and a shot and a visit, he isn't actually confirmed reds yet, and he needs to find a good pot here, which he does so. That was glorious. Down the line to the bottom right-hand bag. Absolutely lovely pot, and that is what Lee is capable of. But he needs to believe in himself. He'll be up in the top division amongst the top dogs. But will he sink or will he swim? This isn't an easy pot that he's got to take on now. He's overcooked it, giving Chris a chance to extend his lead to 2-0 early doors. This will be very difficult for Lee to come back from if Chris can show the form that he did last season, but he has been struggling so far this year. That one's nicely dispatched to the middle, giving himself a choice of options. He has a choice of 2 here, that one to the top left or the yellow to the middle, but he's taking the one to the top right hand pocket now, not the top left as I just said. I'm getting them all wrong, my lefts and rights. I've been in Australia where things are upside down and it's a lot more difficult to tell what's happening. That's absolutely rammed in the middle. That was a good shot. But as ever, Chris does not play position. He's just relying on his potting ability. And if he was on Robot Wars, he would be Sir Pots-a-lot, because he pots them off the lampshades. But can he continue this run? The cue ball is certainly not on a string, and with each pot, it gets trickier and trickier. What can he come up with here? Only time will tell. Stay tuned. Is he looking for a plant? Is he looking to cannon off the yellow? He's looking at the plant down to the bottom left. That's nowhere near. But as ever, Chris gets away with it. He's a lucky little so-and-so. But Lee does have a chance to pot this red up to the top left-hand pocket. Can he get it in and get a frame on the board? Oh no, Lee, you are better than that, my friend. This is now a simple opportunity for Chris. All these 3 yellows are in play, and that black now goes into one of them centre pockets. This should be 2-0 in only a matter of a few seconds. Take your pick. Both of these are easy. He's rolled that bottom left and nicely onto that last one, but he is touching the cushion. As ever, his positional play lets him down. Does Chris need to focus more on position? Is he getting away with it because he's playing a bunch of haddocks? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We really appreciate all the engagement you give us. Some of your comments are legendary. We thank you so much. Where's the cue ball? It stayed up. It's 2-0 to Chris. And on to the third frame we go with Lee breaking them up. Although that's a lovely split from Lee, he has unfortunately come up dry. He is drier than Mynan's ashes, and no balls have been potted, giving Chris the opportunity to decide which colour he would prefer. In 8-ball rules, it's the first colour potted when you have only a single visit, which determines the colour you are throughout the frame, and Chris can't pot, meaning that Lee comes back with it being an open table. After a lot of deliberation, he is going for the red ones, I assume due to those two blocking that top right hand pocket, but he can't pot one, which means that it's still an open table. Which way will Chris decide to go? These aren't easy either way, as we have a few tricky balls. The red ones, two of those towards the middle of the table, are in tricky positions, and the yellow, we have one on the top right hand rail, which will prove problematic throughout this frame, I'm sure. But Chris decided to take the yellows, dispatches one to the bottom right, giving himself to plant this and block the pocket at the same time. He has now developed an opportunity. The one tricky ball remains that one on the right hand cushion. How early can he get onto that ball and try and develop it, or land on it to try and pot it? It looks like he's going to leave it till last, or at least until he has potted all those balls out in open play. He could potentially play the plant here and leave himself a double on that yellow on the cushion. Yep, he's looking to play the plant, leaving that yellow over the hole. Now a little crossback double. This should be quite a formality for Chris, but can he get position? He's hoping not to block himself, finds a gap as usual. This guy walks on water. Forget Jesus, salute this guy. He's our God. He is so lucky, it's unbelievable. But where does this 8-ball go? I didn't think it went in the middle. He must be taking this up to the top right hand side. He is. Does it go? I'm not sure it's got the legs, but it has. It's 3-0 to Chris, and on to the full frame we go. And Chris is breaking them off. Once again, that is a pretty good split, and Chris pots a yellow and a red, but decides the yellow ones are in a better position to take on, and misses an absolute gimme. What a prat. That could feature in our worst shots of the month compilation, which is available on our TikTok, which is at onlyframe62, where you can get involved and let us know your thoughts and decide which one of our shots is worst throughout the playing month. We love your engagement, so please keep on doing so. The video is also available on our YouTube shorts. We also do our best shots of the month compilation. That is nowhere near as good as our worst shots, so please continue to engage, like and subscribe. We really appreciate all your support. Lee's at the table. He's playing the red ones. He only has 3 of them left to stand between him and the 8-ball, but he can't find the double, giving Chris a chance to redeem himself after that earlier abysmal attempt to pot one that was already over the hole. He's cast his beady eye across the table and decided the left yellow of the two next to each other will be the one he'll attempt and take it down to the bottom right, which he duly does, showing he's like Forrest Gump's chocolates. You never know what you're going to get with this guy, but sometimes, every now and again, he does produce the goods. All of a sudden, this should be a real frame winning opportunity. Only one tricky ball, which is over on that left hand cushion. Can he get onto it or develop it from this shot here? The transitions may be difficult if he can't develop it to try and get on that last ball. He has done so. This should now be a formality. Will he look to cut it in the middle and hold that cue ball, or will he take it long down to the bottom? Looks like he's taking it to the middle and going to try and hold the cue ball. No, just blast it. Never tries to play position, this lad, but he has left himself a shot, if nothing else. Can he find the 4th frame he needs to win the title and to guarantee himself a point? He's looking. Does it double? Can he get on the 8-ball, even if he can double it? Only time will tell. But what is for sure, he is proper longing this out. It's like watching Scott, who is so boring. He's the kind of guy who stops at traffic lights in Grand Theft Auto, and after all that, he produces a shot that is very similar to the caliber that Scott produces. A lot of you will know who Scott is because you turn the videos off as soon as he appears. He is such a snorefest. If he was a Pokemon, he'd be Snorlax. Whereas Chris, on the other hand, is more of a Pikachu in the shower kind of guy, why he's squirtling all over himself. Why I am Ash Ketchum, the Grand Master, the guy who keeps everyone together within this franchise. That is a nice shot there from Lee, who is embodying his inner Scott, finding the stitch when the pot was on. He has given Chris a little something to think of here. It's a pretty easy escape, but can he keep the cue ball out the pocket? He'll be looking, he'll be hoping that he can pot this. He got back up as someone walked across his eye line. He manages to pot it. That could feature in our best shots of the month compilation, which, like our worst shots, is available on our TikTok at onlyframe62, as well as within our YouTube shorts. And Chris is looking for another entry into it here, but he can't double that 8 ball, but he does leave it precariously up in the top left-hand jaws, giving Lee a real quandary as he comes back to this table, as these two last reds aren't easy. He's going to take 2 good pots. This could be close. Oh, that is unlucky. That was a super attempt from Lee. He shakes his head. He's disappointed. He gave it all. But Chris now just looking to make this 4-0 and guarantee the point, which he duly does as we move on to the 5th frame with Lee breaking off. And that's a loo ball. The cue ball has gone in, giving Chris a chance, an early chance to make it 5 and to end this as quickly as it started. Chris, with ball in hand, decides that he's going to play the yellows. Although he hasn't potted one yet, he has developed one of the trickier balls. And now looking to take this yellow to the middle. These are all there. The only 2 problematic ones he really has are on the bottom left-hand side of the table. I'm sure he'll be looking to get on those as early as possible. This one isn't easy, but he'll certainly fancy it. And naturally, the cue ball would have gone back over where it needed to be, but he's missed the pot. Is the pressure starting to tell, or has he taken his foot off the gas? Now he has guaranteed himself the league title. Lee can play and will be looking to avoid the whitewash. Lee doesn't deserve to be whitewashed. He's a great player and an even better man. Let's hope here he can show us what he is made of and show us what he is capable of, because he can put them. These are all there. Can he take this out? Looking to take this red to the top left, which he does very nicely. But where has the cue ball gone? He is on the one to the bottom left, but he's taken this one top right. I love it. Get in. It looks good. Yes, it's in. This could guarantee him the frame. Only this red and the 8 ball remain. Can he dispatch them? That's a good first pot. Where's the cue ball going? Stay up. It stays out. Now, this to make it 4-1 and to get a frame on the board. Well done to Lee. We move on to the 6th frame and Chris is breaking them. The cue ball has stayed up. And have any of these balls been potted? They haven't, because Chris is walking away and Lee comes to the table looking to build on that lovely clearance in that last frame. Lee, with his first visit to the table in this frame, decided to use the yellow to pot the red over the middle as it was an open table. But frustratingly, the yellow has blocked the path of the red to the middle pocket, which is going to prove problematic within this frame. But he does have the angle here to pot that one to the top right and to try and develop it. This should be natural to do so, but he's forgot to pot it. He made the cannon, but he hasn't potted the ball. First rule of play in the cannon, remember to pot him, giving Chris a chance to get to his 5th frame and to end this match here as he rolls this one towards the middle, but he's missed it. That one could also feature in our worst shots of the month compilation. Chris is giving us some gold here today. He doesn't usually miss balls like this, but can Lee capitalise. He's playing the reds, looking to take that one top right, but he finds the jaws again. He can't afford to keep missing. Chris will eventually punish him. Is Chris gonna end this game here? These yellows aren't easy. He has a couple of tricky ones up to the top of the table, but he'll worry about them as he gets to them. Pots this one early doors to the middle, but that cue ball is in absolutely no man's land. As usual for Chris, he's going to pretend he played on this one here though. Can he develop one of his trickier balls? He's blasting it, but he's forgot to pot it. This is interesting, you lucky little rat. He has just fluked one down to the bottom right. I told you, this guy walks on water. I'm calling him out. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is Chris the luckiest player in Only Frames? Yes, I will admit, he does bear the fruits of his good luck. The more I play, the luckier I get, as Gary Player once said. And can Chris capitalise on his good fortune? He's now running round the table. 1 yellow to go and the 8 ball to confirm a 5-1 victory. And to ensure that his 100% record stays on the channel. Yes, it does. Both of these guys qualify into Division 1 for later on in the season. Will Steve join them?